home, you high school dropout old hag. Who the hell invited you to our wedding? I'll answer for you. Nobody did. You don't belong here. Yet knowing that you weren't invited, you came here anyway? You're unbelievable. Who do you think you are? You have some nerve to be thinking that you have any right to be here.
The only one who's really being unbelievable here is you, Fauna. You came over to me and literally dumped a bucket of water over my head. Why would you do something so awful? That's cruel no matter what your reasoning is.
Shut up! You deserve it. It's all because you came to my wedding without my permission. And since you're clearly stupid enough to do that, I figured I had to make it more obvious that you're not welcome here. Hence why I decided to give you a bit of a wake-up call. If I hadn't done this, I know you wouldn't go home.
Excuse me?
Still, it's stupidly impressive how you managed to come despite me not inviting you. How did you even find out? You've got guts. Especially since you know for a fact that I hate you because you're stupid and uneducated. I even went out of my way to talk to my mom and my older brother about you. I told them that I'm too embarrassed to be associated with a high school dropout like you, so I wanted them to keep you away from my wedding. And knowing them, they shouldn't have told you anything. And yet, who would have thought that after all that trouble I went through, you'd come in and invade my wedding regardless? I can't even blame my family for this. Who would have thought you were this stupid?
I haven't invaded anything. Your fiancé invited me to the wedding, so I decided to attend. I had no idea that he'd be marrying you of all people. So, no, I don't intend to invade your wedding. That was just an unfortunate coincidence. If I'd known beforehand, I would have declined the invitation.
What? What kind of stupid lie is that? You're saying that my Thomas actually wanted to invite you, a high school idiot dropout? Get real. Why would he ever want to do that? I mean, we're both fellow graduates of Harvard University, you know. And not only that, but he works at a very prestigious, well-known company. Yet you're trying to tell me that he somehow knows you, a low-life high school dropout from the boonies? As F, there's no way he'd actually know you. You're not even on the same plane of existence.
Even if you don't want to believe it, the fact I've been invited by him is proof that he does know me. And yet you came over to dump a bucket of water over my head to get me to leave the wedding venue. Not only that, but you told my husband and your mother to purposefully hide the fact you'll be having a wedding from me? And they actually listened to you? Seriously, I'm really reaching my limit here. I can't with this.
Wow, you think you're hitting your limit? Well, that's my line. Look, I hate you, but it's not like I don't understand why you'd want to try and get on my good side. I am an esteemed Harvard graduate, after all. It'd only benefit you if you could get me to like you. I get it. If I made the poor life decisions that you have, I'd want to do the same thing. Yet coming to my wedding without permission is going way too far. I don't think I'd do that to anyone myself. Not in a million years. Man, it really is true. High school dropouts really don't have a lick of common sense in them. They're completely selfish and don't think about the trouble they're causing others. And they don't take hints very well. Even if we have no blood tying us together, I'm really reaching my limit here having to tolerate being sisters with you.
Excuse me? What did you say?
You heard me. Anyway, my wonderful wedding ceremony will be commencing shortly. As for you, well, we don't have any room for you here, and I'm sure even an idiot like you would be absolutely embarrassed to be attending while your nice clothes are totally soaked like a pathetic wet dog. So high school dropouts like you are better off going home. No one wants you here, you old hag.
Sure, I'll do that for you. But I'm just warning you now that you will definitely be regretting it later.
What, are you trying to scare me? Like hell I will. If anything, I'll feel totally relieved. And to celebrate, I'll be partying it up twice as hard not having to see your ugly mug on my special day.
Well, if you're so sure, I'll quietly take my leave then. But in exchange, be sure to let your Thomas know that I've gone home. And that even though he'd entrusted me, his boss, with giving a big speech at his wedding, I've become unable to do so.
Huh?
It's such a shame, too. I had most of the speech memorized by heart, but I just have to go home because you told me to. And not only that, but because you dumped a bucket of water over my head, my speech papers are all drenched. So even if there was someone to read it in my stead, the papers are too soaked to even make out anymore. Oh, how annoying. I wasn't intending to attend my bratty little sister-in-law's wedding, but rather, I wanted to participate in my subordinate's wedding as one of his esteemed guests. And yet, I still find myself treated like this. I would have never guessed in a million years that something like this would happen. They do say it's a small world out there, but in my opinion, it's a little too small. I'd rather such coincidences like this not occur.
Hey, just hold on here. Are you saying you're Thomas's boss?
Anyhow, I'll be leaving things to you now. Take care. No matter what happens, I won't be taking responsibility for anything. Deal with it on your own, since you insisted you wouldn't regret this. You made your bed. Now lay in it.
Boss, what's the matter? Why are you home all of a sudden? Did something happen? Oh no, did I happen to say something to offend you? I'm terribly sorry if that's the case. If I upset you in any way, I'll apologize as many times as you need me to. I promise.
Please calm down and be at ease, Thomas. Take deep breaths now. You haven't done anything wrong, so you don't have to apologize to me. It's just that I ran into a little bit of trouble with the bride, so I decided to go home.
Huh? You mean Fauna?
Yeah. This might shock you to hear, but Fauna and I are actually sisters-in-law. In other words, she's my husband's little sister.
What, really? No way, what a coincidence.
I agree. It really is such a strange coincidence. And I understand that it sounds pretty unbelievable, but it's the truth. We've actually known each other for a while now, so this isn't my first time seeing her.
But Fauna has always told me that her older brother was still a bachelor.
Oh no. You have to be kidding. She was saying stuff like that to you?
Yeah, she talked about her older brother before, and I eventually met him myself, but she told me he wasn't married. And when we were all at the dinner party with her family, everyone said the same thing, so I assumed it was the truth.
Who would have thought that both my husband and my mother-in-law would be complicit in her lie? And not only that, they acted that way specifically to deceive you, and they all knew the truth. Also, that's the first I've heard of any dinner parties happening. I was never invited to any gatherings like that.
I really hate to sound so skeptical, but if you really are Fauna's sister-in-law, why did no one invite you? You are part of their family, right? And not only that, why are they so determined to pretend that you don't exist? Why is even your husband in on it? Isn't that pretty mean? Please, don't misunderstand. I'm fully aware that you're not the type to tell lies. After working under you for so long, I've realized that much. So really, at this point, I'm just confused and want to understand the situation better. With all these new details thrown at me, I'm having trouble digesting everything.
This is embarrassing for me to admit, but the truth is that Fauna and I are in poor standing with one another. We don't get along at all. Well, to be precise, it's more like she's the one who unilaterally hates me, even though I would be neutral toward her if she didn't antagonize me so. I try not to do anything to provoke her myself. But such is life, I guess. It doesn't matter what kind of person I really am, because the moment she found out I was a high school dropout without much education, she determined that she had to reject me with all her might. She judges me not based off of my character, but by my background.
Huh? Wait, boss, you're a high school dropout?
Oh, wait, have I never told you before? I'm pretty open about it, so I thought you'd know by now.
You're such a competent worker who puts her all into everything she does. It feels like you can accomplish anything with such grace and confidence that I could only hope to have. And you help me when I fumble at work. I would have never guessed that you were a high school dropout. To be honest, I actually thought that maybe you attended a big-name university overseas or something. I mean, I overheard you talking on the phone with one of our business partners from France. And you were speaking so fast in French. I'm no expert in French, but I venture to say that you sounded fluent, or at least that you were super confident in speaking it. And as far as I know, you aren't related to anyone who's French either.
It's unfortunate, but due to my family's financial hardships, I couldn't further my education. That's why I had to drop out of high school. But if you really put your mind to doing stuff like learning French or working at a job and you have the drive, anyone can accomplish this much. At least, that's what I believe. I'm living proof of that. So in other words, I didn't let my lack of education get the better of me. I determined that it was precisely the reason why I had to work twice as hard as everyone else. And so I worked my butt off until I got to the position I am today. Now I'm one of the higher-ups at a big-name company. I might have had some luck on my side, but otherwise I got here on my own.
Wow, I'm speechless. That is incredible.
But that Fauna, she believes a good academic background is more important than anything in this world. That's all she thinks about when she looks at me. Sometimes I wonder if she's always been like this, or if getting accepted into Harvard all got into her head. Anyway, regardless, to her, it doesn't matter where I work or the fact I can speak French fluently. She can't allow herself to hold a proper conversation with me all because she's focused on the fact I'm a high school dropout.
Really? I didn't take her for that kind of person.
Yeah. So now you understand the situation. It is what it is. I'll just go home today. Even if I forcefully stay despite how much she despises me, I think it'll eventually cause trouble for you too. I'm not sure how she'll wind up lashing out, so I should just back off today. I really am sorry for everything.
I think I understand the picture here. If anything, I'm the one who's sorry for causing you so much trouble. I just wanted you to have a good time celebrating our wedding, and yet things turned out like this. You came all the way here only to have to be turned away.
Please don't fret. Like I said, you've done nothing wrong. You don't need to apologize. Anyhow, that's all from me for now. If you plan to continue this wedding ceremony, I wish you the best. And since I won't be able to say this in person, congratulations on your marriage.
God, who would have thought that someone like you not only worked in the same place as my Thomas, but that you're also his boss? When he confirmed it with me, all I could do was stand there shocked.
And yet somehow, you two managed to go through with your wedding ceremony after all. Congratulations. I had my husband show me the pictures from the event. They were well-taken photos of your wedding ceremony. You also had a nice smile. I wouldn't have thought for a second that you were shocked about anything at all.
Ah, I see. You've decided to act all tough on me. I get it. You're secretly harboring bitter feelings toward us because our wedding went exactly as planned. You didn't expect something like that, huh? When you heard from my brother that it concluded without incident, I bet you were super surprised.
I admit it. I suppose you can say I was. After all that, I was thinking that maybe the wedding would get canceled.
Like hell our wedding would get canceled over something so stupid, idiot. He's not only a Harvard graduate like me, but we also both work at big-name companies. Think about it. We're both a perfectly respectable couple fit for each other. We're practically destined to be together. Why would such a perfect wedding ever be canceled because of someone like you? Chasing out a high school dropout of an old hag like you isn't enough for him to dump me, you know.
That's such a shame. If the wedding really had been canceled, I thought that maybe it would be a wake-up call to finally turn your nasty behavior around and amend your ways. It's too bad that you have to continue having that ugly personality of yours.
Say what? Oh, did you think you could make me panic enough to actually start giving you the time of day? Me, a Harvard graduate, a woman of a superb academic background. You're saying that I should ever entertain the idea of genuinely interacting with a high school uneducated dropout like you. Get real.
I did think that maybe learning I was his boss would be enough to show me at least a little more respect. It might not mean much coming from myself, but I personally think I worked my butt off to get to where I am. I've worked harder than most people I've met. So I thought that being his boss might slightly offset your negative opinion of me.
I was surprised that not only were you working at a big-name company, but that you were also one of the higher-ups there. But just that alone isn't enough to shift my opinion of you. It doesn't matter what you do or where you work. In the end, it doesn't change the fact that you're nothing but a low-class, uneducated high school dropout who happened to weasel your way into a high position somehow. In other words, it doesn't change the fact that your very existence is way beneath me. You're like an ant barely even worth stepping on.
I see.
If anything, rather than starting to respect you at all, I actually see this as a big opportunity.
Huh? Where?
You better step down from your position and give your role to my Thomas right now. From now on, the boss around here is going to be him, not you. And you'll be just his little subordinate. Your roles will be switched. You understand? This is an order from your sister-in-law.
Excuse me?
I mean, think about it. It's absurd that a high school dropout should occupy such a high position at a big-name company in the first place. Honestly, you're more worthy of being a janitor there. And yet you're my Thomas's superior? When he is the Harvard graduate here? By all accounts, a low-life high school dropout like you should be his subordinate. Not the other way around. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense.
You're the one who isn't making any sense. I've worked at this company for many years longer than he has. So why do I have to become his subordinate despite the literal years of experience I have over him? He's a good, hardworking man, but this is how things need to be. According to our company, what matters isn't our education, but results. It doesn't matter if you're a Harvard graduate or not. If you don't have anything to show for it, even a high school dropout like me can overtake you. You don't even understand something so basic.
As if they only care about results. I know the truth. The truth is that you're jealous of his superb academic background, so you've been purposefully hindering his chances at advancing his career. And don't think you can keep getting away with it either. I'll expose you for the fraud you are.
You're really accusing me of being a fraud? What nonsense are you spewing now? I can hardly keep up with you.
I was thinking for a while now how it was so weird. My Thomas is a fellow Harvard graduate in excellent academic standing, yet he just hasn't been able to advance in his career. From what he's told me, he's one of the only ones left who hasn't been given a promotion amongst his peers.
That sounds about right. All of his colleagues were producing favorable results left and right. And thanks to that, they got to be promoted.
But I finally understand the real reason that he's been unable to be promoted. Mary, you're the one who's been getting in his way. Isn't that right? You can't hide it from me anymore. You were totally jealous of his academic background. And utilizing your position as his boss, you purposefully prevented him from getting a promotion. That has to be it. There's no doubt about it. Otherwise, he would have snatched away your position as his superior in an instant. As a high school dropout, you want to cling to every ounce of power you somehow got.
Excuse me?
And now that's a wrap. With this, I'll report all of your evil deeds to your company and file a formal complaint. And you'll no doubt be demoted before you can even blink. And that'll leave a new spot open for my Thomas when he finally gets promoted. He'll be able to take his rightful place as your boss.
My God, what am I to do? I'm starting to get a headache. Maybe I need to take some aspirin because I can't with this. You're putting the blame on me that your beloved can't get a promotion? Just to be sure, because I can't believe it. But do you really think that?
Duh. Of course. I came to that conclusion with this brilliant mind of mine that had the smarts to graduate from that famous Harvard University, after all. There's no way I could ever be wrong.
And this is the results of your so-called brilliant deductions?
Oh, I need to tell Thomas about my amazing findings. He was always bad-mouthing his boss, and he was worried about his inability to get a promotion. If I tell him what a miserable lowlife his boss is, I'm sure he'll be super happy. Since it's not his fault that he can't get promoted. It's yours. And with this, you'll be finished. Base, low-life, uneducated swine should be content with working under their much more educated superiors.
If we're going to talk about education here, that's the whole reason I'm working under Mary. Seriously, don't say another word. If you keep saying stupid things, I'm going to die from secondhand embarrassment.
What?
It's true that I've told you that my boss can be pretty strict, but I've never once badmouthed her to you. Unlike my amazing boss, I work much too slowly, and there's a lot that I can't do. And yet, rather than giving up on me, she's taken me under her wing. I not only respect her, but I also look up to her. I admire her work ethic and her confidence. And yet, here you are treating her like garbage. You've said such terrible, rude things to this person I admire so much.
Huh? Wait a second. Is this Thomas?
The reason I can't get a promotion is my own fault, not my boss. And yet you're accusing her of purposely getting in the way of that promotion? All you're doing is making me look worse, so will you quit it already? You're embarrassing me.
Hey, no, just wait a second. Back up. What are you doing texting from Mary's WhatsApp?
Well, we work in the exact same company, so it makes sense we're often near each other. Also, we happen to be in the middle of a discussion in the conference room. I was just reporting to her that I was going to dump you.
Say what now? You're breaking up with me?
That's right. At this point, I have to. I have no other option. We were planning to officially register our marriage next weekend, right? It's true that we've already had our wedding, but the fact that we chose not to officially register our marriage until after the event was a blessing in disguise for me. It makes it much easier to break things off with you.
No, just hold on here. Why are you suddenly saying we need to break up out of the blue like this? Weren't we happy together?
Do you even need to ask? Reflect on your own actions for once, will you? After seeing your true colors, there's nothing to do but break up with you. I can't marry a woman who looks down on my boss who I respect so much.
What are you respecting her for? Don't you understand that by being a high school dropout, that already puts her status beneath yours?
So what if she's a high school dropout? Making fun of someone simply for their educational background isn't bad taste. And to make matters even worse, but your whole family was in on the lie. You all try to hide her existence from me for such a stupid reason. So it's not just you who's the problem here, but everyone in your family too. There's no way I want anything to do with you people.
But it can't be helped. It's embarrassing to have to admit that we have a high school dropout in our family. You can't blame us. Mary's the one at fault here. She's the one who chose to have such an embarrassing academic background that we felt the need to hide. And by the way, it makes no sense to break up after we had our wedding ceremony just yesterday. We had such a fun and happy wedding. So why are you saying something like that?
What part of that was a fun and happy wedding? I had to force myself to smile that entire time.
Huh?
You see, I often get scolded by my boss for always worrying about what others around me think. It gets particularly bad when I have to do things at work that make me nervous. I get caught between forcing myself to continue working even though I have no confidence in what I'm doing, or asking those around me for help. And in the end, I just wind up failing again and again. I always get told that I worry too much about what other people think. And yesterday's wedding ceremony was a prime example of that.
What do you mean by that?
I was caught between forcing myself to continue with the wedding or to cancel the wedding altogether. But if I was that worried, I should have at least had it suspended for the time being. But I'm the type of person who worries too much about what the people around me think. And I thought about how I would have to explain things to my parents and my friends who came all the way out here to congratulate us on our marriage. I didn't know what to tell them. And I wondered about what I was going to do about the congratulatory gifts. So, in the end, I couldn't come to a proper decision and forced myself to continue with the wedding.
What?
But now that a day has passed, I finally found my resolve. It's fine if the people around me get angry. They can even be disappointed. They can think whatever they want of me. Beyond anything else, I don't want to get married to you, and I'll value this feeling above anyone else's.
You have to be kidding me. So it's true? You really don't want to get married to me? Is that what you're saying here? Even though we just had our wedding ceremony yesterday?
Let's speak with both of our families together one of these days. And tell them that the marriage is now out of the question for us. It'll be like our wedding basically never happened.
No! I don't want that! Anything but that! I don't want us to break up. I want to stay with you. I'm going to become your wife. No one else's. We were made for each other. Don't you understand that? We're going to become a couple of superb Harvard graduates. Those of a brilliant academic background need to be together.
Just because you have a brilliant academic background doesn't mean you'll magically know how to work a job. Besides, you lack common sense. Your way of thinking is absurd. I can't keep up with you. Because of that, it is in my best interest that we don't get married. Anyhow, I have work that I need to get back to. I can't keep talking to you forever. Boss is also pretty busy herself, so don't bother her with any more of your stupid nonsense anymore. She doesn't have the time to be entertaining you.
Oh my god, this is the worst! No matter how many times I try to contact Thomas, he won't pick up the phone, and he's left all my messages completely unread. This is all your fault. What are you going to do about it, huh? How are you going to take responsibility?
What are you doing messaging me? Didn't he tell you not to bother me anymore? I thought you were a super smart Harvard graduate, yet you can't even read English? Your native language? Kids these days.
Shut up, you uneducated low-life high school dropout! Just because you have a decent position at a famous company doesn't mean you have the right to be getting on your high horse. I will never forgive you for what you've done. And you know what I'll do? I'll tell on you. I'll say that you're the reason my marriage has been canceled. I'll tell on you to my brother and my dad and my mom. I'll tell everyone.
Sure, go ahead. Do what you want.
Don't be getting too comfortable. You can only act like that now because I haven't said anything yet. Everyone in my family loves me. And my brother is the nicest to me out of anyone. So if I tell on you to him, it's guaranteed that he'll divorce you.
You haven't heard yet? I hit him with the divorce papers myself.
Huh? Say what now? I don't understand.
After everything that's happened regarding your wedding and the circumstances around it, I realized that I don't really love him anymore. The one I was most irritated at that day wasn't you. I was already aware you were a garbage human being, so it wasn't shocking that you acted the way you did. But my own husband? I was more angry at him than anyone. So that night when I got home, I brought the divorce papers to him and had him sign them.
Really?
You've always openly looked down on me, and I've gotten used to my own husband never taking my side and defending me. But to think that not only did he not tell me about my own sister-in-law's wedding, but he participated in a dinner party with the groom and his family? Without telling me? Even though I'm a member of his family too. And to make matters worse, he hid my existence to Thomas and pretended like he was unmarried. Hearing all that, I felt he'd really crossed the line. I couldn't stay married to him anymore.
What?
And in the end, he literally saw you dump a whole bucket of water over my head. And yet he didn't even rush in to help me. He just continued to take it easy and enjoy the wedding like nothing ever happened. If anything, when I got home, the first thing he did was joke to me about how I got completely drenched. I have no need for a crappy lowlife of a man in my life anymore. I deserve better than to continue wasting my precious time with him.
Even so, it's stupid that you're the one to bring up divorce here and not him. Do you realize how lucky you were? Almost nobody out there is willing to marry a base, uneducated lowlife of a high school dropout like you. And yet, knowing your own position in society, you think you have the right to be pulling the divorce papers on him and not the other way around?
What does it matter? Didn't you want us to get divorced anyway? What's it matter who brought it up first?
It's true that I wanted that, but not like this. It irritates me to no end. I'll give you a heads up, but if you regret this later, it'll be way too late. If you ever come to your senses and realize you don't want to cut ties with him after all, it's way too late.
Could you tell your dear old big brother that for me? I told him that he's a man whose salary is far below mine, his wife's. And yet he looks down on me. I told him that it's rare to find a woman willing to tolerate that enough to marry him.
What?
When I brought out the divorce papers, he was absolutely furious. He signed those papers while seeing red, so could you tell him not to regret his actions later? I think his rationality will be coming back to him soon. Once it does, he'll probably be contacting me to try and get back together.
No, hang on. Wait a second. Even though you're a high school dropout, you make more money than my brother?
Regardless of whether or not I'm a high school dropout, I'm still one of the higher-ups at a famous company, you know? And as such, I bring back home a fat paycheck suitable for such a prestigious role. Unlike your big brother, who stirs up a big fuss at work and gets himself a demotion.
Huh? He got demoted? What for?
Apparently, he got nearly blackout drunk and ripped the wig off of one of his superiors. And he called him a high school dropout baldy, making fun of his academic, uneducated background and making fun of his hair loss. And because of that, His superiors, especially the one he made fun of, began to have it out for him. And to make matters worse, things weren't going very well at his work. And before you could even blink, he was demoted as a penalty for his misconduct.
What? What's my brother doing? Why did he do something so stupid?
So that's how it is. So feel free to tell on me to that oh so very respectable brother of yours whose foolish behavior got him demoted. We've already gotten divorced, so I'm not scared at all of whatever you could say to him anyway. Just like Thomas said, Fauna and Thomas's marriage was completely called off. I don't know what happened with Thomas after that. Maybe he got some kind of epiphany from his experiences. But he rapidly developed into a super capable and reliable subordinate of mine. He started flourishing all of a sudden. He started to produce good results at work, and he gets praise from all around him. If he keeps up at this pace, then maybe a proper promotion will be in his future soon enough. And just as I predicted, like some kind of fortune teller, my former husband and his little sister came crawling back to me, trying to curry favor with me. They've gotten really annoying, begging me to consider making up with them. Of course, I wasn't even going to entertain that notion, but they were just so persistent. So I decided that I'd do something about it. In fact, I wound up gathering all the evidence I had of their poor speech and behavior toward me and turning them in. And thanks to that, I've managed to secure financial compensation for the trouble they've been causing me, particularly from Fauna. Ever since then, it seems Fauna has been living a miserable life, being constantly blamed by her family, telling her that not only did they lose out on an outstanding wife with an incredible job, but she also has cost them a ton of money. Thanks for watching! If you made it this far, give this video a like and subscribe to see more content just like this. Also, don't forget to leave us your thoughts in the comments section below. What did you think? Be sure to let us know. We're looking forward to your responses. See you next time!